You can probably remember your first day of school, your first airplane ride, your first real job, maybe even your first embarrassing moment that still randomly pops into your head while you're trying to sleep. But can you remember what you had for lunch 8 days ago? Probably not. And that's strange, because you actually lived both moments. So why does one memory stay with you for years, while the other disappears almost immediately? At first, it sounds like your memory is failing, but what if the opposite is true? What if your brain is actually doing its job perfectly? Imagine if your brain remembered every single thing you ever experienced, every leaf you walked past, every face in a crowd, every time you locked your front door, every spoonful of cereal you've ever eaten, every awkward elevator ride. Your brain would be buried under an impossible mountain of information. So instead, it cheats. It keeps the moments that matter and quietly throws away the rest. Think about watching the same movie every day for a month. The first time, every scene feels fresh. The jokes are funny. The twists are surprising. You notice every detail. But by the 30th time, your brain already knows what's coming. It stops paying attention because paying attention costs energy. Your daily life works the same way. The route to work, the walk to school, the drive home, the same grocery store, the same hallway, the same alarm clock. After enough repetition, your brain labels those experiences as already seen, so it spends less energy recording them, not because they never happened, but because they weren't new. This is why vacations feel so different. Everything changes: the streets, the food, the language, the smells, even the weather. Your brain suddenly has a lot of work to do. Every experience becomes important because it doesn't know what to expect. It's like opening hundreds of brand new folders instead of copying the same one over and over. That's why you can remember tiny details from a trip years later, like the restaurant where you accidentally ordered something you couldn't pronounce, or the view from a hotel window, or that one bird that somehow stole your snack. Your brain decided those moments were worth saving. Routine doesn't get the same treatment. Now, here's where it gets even stranger. This doesn't just affect what you remember, it changes how long your life feels. Think about being a kid. Almost everything was new: new friends, new games, new teachers, new places, new experiences every week. Your brain stored all of it. Looking back, those years feel packed with memories. As adults, life often becomes more predictable. Wake up, go to work, come home, repeat. Your brain sees less novelty, so it stores fewer detailed memories. Then, months later, you look back. There aren't many mental landmarks. Your brain flips through those months like a book with only a few bookmark pages. It isn't that time moved faster, it's that there were fewer memorable moments to measure it. It's a little like driving the same road every day. During the drive, it takes the usual amount of time, but afterward, it feels like you arrived almost instantly because your brain didn't bother recording every familiar detail. Memory shapes the feeling of time, not the clock. That's why one exciting weekend can feel longer in your memory than an ordinary month. Your brain isn't measuring hours, it's measuring experiences. And here's the best part: if novelty creates stronger memories, then creating new experiences can actually make your life feel richer when you look back. You don't need to move across the world. Sometimes it's enough to try a new recipe, walk a different route, read a different book, learn one new skill, talk to someone you've never met before. Small changes tell your brain, this is worth keeping. Over time, those moments become the landmarks that make life feel full instead of blurry. So if you've ever wondered where the last few years went, they didn't disappear. Your brain simply decided most of them looked too similar to save. It wasn't stealing your memories, it was saving space. And maybe that's the real lesson. Life isn't only measured by how many days you live, it's measured by how many days your brain decides are worth remembering. Because in the end, the moments that feel longest are usually the moments that felt newest. And that raises another question. If your brain quietly changes the way you experience time, what other parts of reality is it changing without you ever noticing?